Good afternoon. My name is Jacob Oliva, and I have the honor and privilege of serving as the Secretary of Education here in the great state of Arkansas. Thank you for joining us on this momentous day for education in the state as we get ready to sign the Learns Bill. There's a famous Chinese proverb that says, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." As we embark on the journey of transforming learning and creating opportunities for students in the state of Arkansas, we will continue to prioritize the following key tenets of the Learns Bill: improving literacy for all, ensuring students come to kindergarten ready to learn, empowering parents, promoting accountability, strengthening career and workforce readiness programs, focusing on school safety, and moving teacher salaries to the top 5 in the nation. On January 10th, Governor Sanders stood on the steps of the Capitol and stated that she will be known as Education Governor. So I want to take a minute to congratulate her on taking that first big step towards solidifying that legacy. I'd also like to thank the bill sponsors, Representative Brooks and Senator Davis, for their working diligently with all stakeholders around the state and for incorporating feedback throughout the process to ensure that every voice was heard and reflected in the bill. At no time were pencils down. They were always sharpened and ready to transform the Learns blueprint into an actionable plan. I'd also like to thank the team that spent countless hours, nights, and weekends to help us arrive to this moment. The passion and dedication around making sure we create the conditions for students to be successful is truly remarkable. While we have taken the first big step on our journey, we have not arrived. I look forward to continuing to work with educators, leaders, legislators, families, and students as we begin the implementation process. At this time, I'd like to invite Representative Keith Brooks to the podium. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Just a quick word of thanks to Governor Sanders for her leadership. This issue is one that we know for generations that we have struggled with and chosen to place emphasis on, and today she commits that Arkansas will do nothing less than the best. So I appreciate her for her leadership, for Secretary Oliva, who has hit the ground running when he got here from Florida, to make a mark on generations to come here in the state of Arkansas, for my colleague, Senator Davis, who has put in countless hours, Speaker Shepard, and Senate President Mark Hester, who have led courageously. And I also want to recognize a former colleague of ours, former Representative Ken Bragg, who's back here in the back. Representative Bragg has fought for students for years, and this is the culmination of a lot of work of his for a long time, so I appreciate what he has done. Today is a great day in the state of Arkansas for students. Today, Arkansas leads the nation with a collaborative approach to reimagine what learning is. Today, we make a commitment to teachers to pay among the highest wages in the nation for a career that's as important as any. Today, we commit that we will not turn a blind eye to the challenges of struggling readers. And today, we empower parents and fund students over systems. Today, Arkansas steps up and makes a covenant with generations to come that we will lead the way for education transformation in the United States of America. And I'd like to turn it over to my colleague, Senator Davis.
Thank you, everyone, for being here today. This is amazing support, and I know all of my colleagues and myself have received messages from teachers and educators and administrators and parents across our state thanking us for the work, thanking the governor for her leadership on this to change generations in the state of Arkansas. I'd like to say that I'm honored to be part of the passage of this historic bill that gives families a choice in their children's educational journey. This bill that supports our teachers who are working to meet the needs of students in classrooms as we stand here right now. A bill that overwhelmingly invests in our public schools and most importantly, a bill that focuses on our students. And isn't it special that on International Women's Day, we are celebrating with Arkansas's first female governor leading the country on the most comprehensive, largest student-focused reform in our state's history and arguably in the country. At this time, it's my honor to turn it over to Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Thank you. Good afternoon. And what a great day it is in Arkansas. The biggest, boldest, most conservative education reforms in our history, signed into law only 2 months into my first term and our first legislative session. More than anything else, education is how we invest in our future. It's the seed we sow today, knowing that only our children will have the opportunity to reap the harvest. Over the weekend, I heard a story that crystallized this entire debate. It's about a little boy in Arkansas who, like many other kids, doesn't fit neatly into the one-size-fits-all model that our current system provides. The boy struggles with a host of learning disabilities. His parents hoped that their local school district would give him the resources he needed to thrive as required by law. But the opposite happened. The boy was bullied. He fell far behind academically. And this happy, bright-eyed boy became a shell of his former self. Things reached a breaking point 2 years ago, and the boy ran away from school. The administration never even realized he had left. He made his way to a nearby highway and got into the car with a stranger. Luckily, that stranger was a good person and took that little boy home. After that, the boy ran away a second time. He was missing for 2 full hours before the school notified his parents. They called the police, and the boy was found again before anything went terribly wrong. But then it happened a third time, and one of the boy's bullies told him to go and die in a ditch. And so he left the school to do that. When he was found, he was alone, soaking wet, sobbing in a ditch. He and his family had hit rock bottom. Thankfully, this story has a happy ending. The boy's parents, they scraped, they saved, and they finally found enough money to put him in a specialized school. He's now doing fantastic. He's making friends, and he's learning. But for every little boy whose parents can find a way to send him to another school, there are hundreds who cannot. We've been failing them, not just in school, but in life. And that is why we prioritized the Arkansas Learns Initiative right out of the gate. When I put my signature on this bill and make it law, the failed status quo will end. I'd like to give a huge and special thanks to Senator Breanne Davis and Representative Brooks. They didn't just introduce this bill. They worked countless and endless hours to advocate and to answer questions from their colleagues, superintendents, school board members, teachers, students, and parents. And they delivered. I also want to thank Speaker Shepard and President Hester, as well as our House and Senate Education Committee chairs, Brian Evans and Jane English. Without your leadership, we wouldn't be standing here today. And of course, another thank you to Secretary Oliva. You're not just the guy who had to help write this bill, you're also the guy who's going to get to put it into practice. Your work just got started. But based on what we've seen after these last few weeks, I have no doubt that you will rise to the challenge and get the job done. I also want to thank all of the members of the legislature who came together, who fought with us, who answered questions, and got the job done because we care about the students and the kids in this state. And they will be the true beneficiaries of all of your hard work. The beauty of our legislative process is that citizens, everyday, hard-working Arkansans, can testify on behalf of bills they care about. Over the past few weeks, we heard a lot of great testimony on Arkansas Learns from all over our state. We heard from CJ and Savannah, two married teachers in South Arkansas. They talked about the struggles they face with their low salaries, squeezing their budget, thinking about part-time jobs, considering leaving their profession entirely. They just couldn't get the numbers to add up anymore. To teachers like CJ and Savannah, Arkansas Learns is a lifeline. It raises the minimum teacher salary from $36,000 to $50,000 and gives every single teacher, I want to repeat that, every single teacher in the state of Arkansas a pay raise of at least $2,000. Arkansas will go from 48th in the nation for starting teacher salary all the way to the top 5. We know that an excellent education starts with excellent teachers. Arkansas Learns gives our public schools the resources they need to attract and retain our great teachers. During the hearings, we also heard from parents. Many have kids like the boy I mentioned, who have struggled under Arkansas's one-size-fits-all model. Erica Horn is one of them, a public school parent with 3 children, including 2 boys with autism. Erica knew her sons would need extra support at school, but assumed she'd find it in the district that they lived in. But she was wrong. Once she realized the local school could not help her boys, Erica sold the family's house and moved to an entirely new city. She would do anything to get her kids a quality education. If the Horns had simply been empowered to choose their kids' school from a suite of options, they would never have had to uproot their life. But under Arkansas's current system, a family's zip code is often the only thing that determines whether their kids will get the education that they need to succeed. Arkansas Learns ends that unfair practice. With new education freedom accounts, parents will be able to send their kids to whatever school works best, whether it's private, public, parochial, or homeschool. Some have said this defunds public schools, but let me be clear. All of the research shows that the exact opposite is true. Most families end up staying in their local school district, but when parents are empowered to choose, all schools work harder to attract students. Competition breeds excellence. During testimony, we heard from students like 13-year-old Carter. In his local school district, he was falling behind his peers, especially in reading. So Carter's parents made tremendous sacrifices and homeschooled him, and he now reads above grade level. But far too Arkansas families can afford to make the same sacrifices for their own kids. Only 35% of our 3rd graders can read at grade level. That is simply unacceptable. Students enter elementary school learning to read, but by the time they leave 3rd grade, they have to read to learn. Arkansas Learns takes this problem head on. With a massive investment in our public schools, 120 literacy coaches deployed throughout the state, $500 tutoring grants for kids who are still struggling. The tools our kids need so we can be sure that every single one reads at grade level. I'm proud of the legislation that we have fought to make sure helps reward each of our students in this state. But as Secretary Oliva likes to say, this bill isn't just about young kids. It's a comprehensive approach to all education, from cradle to career. The Career Ready Diploma program in Arkansas Learns partners our schools with local employers, giving students the skills they need for future success. Every Arkansan will leave school ready to enter a high-paying field right after graduation, right into their community. And I'm proud that the bill I'm about to sign is the largest overhaul of our state's education system in Arkansas history, because it frankly could not get here soon enough. We've seen how the status quo condemns Arkansans to a lifetime of poverty, and we're tired of sitting at the bottom of national education rankings. We know that if we don't plant this seed today, then there will be nothing for our kids to reap down the line. As a product of Arkansas Public Schools, this fight is personal. Since I announced my run for governor, I've heard from so many Arkansas teachers, parents, and students who are ready to change lives. And there's no better way to do that than by fixing our schools. That's why I promised to be the education governor, and that's why I prioritized it on day one. And today, that's why I'm proud to be delivering, along with my partners and friends in the legislature, on behalf of the people of Arkansas. Thank you for being here. God bless you guys, and God bless our great state. Thank you.
Excuse me. Hey guys. There you go.
We have the stands.